everyone. Welcome to another episode of Poshteacher. I am so glad you could join us. And today I have a very special guest. Teala is here to join us. She is a special education teacher, and she's also a behavior specialist and an adjunct professor. So welcome to our program, Teala.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Well, first of all, what we always ask here on Poshteacher is, what was your aha moment that you decided to go into education?
Yeah, so I always wanted to be a teacher since I was little. I was playing school and my grandma was a teacher, so she actually home taught me in kindergarten. And so I was just always around it, and it was just fun. I don't know why. I loved it. Like notebooks and pencils and pens and all the things. Like what a nerdy little kid I was. But when I went to undergrad, I actually went to be a biology major because I was like, I'm never going to make enough money being a teacher, you know, the whole spiel. And I was sitting in my chemistry building waiting for a class, and I guess we actually had it in the education building. And I saw a display case of kids' artwork, and I was like, what am I doing? And so I went that day and I changed my major and never looked back.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How you create a path and then it takes a turn. Wonderful. So then you went into education. Why did you decide special education?
That's another funny story. I never wanted to do special education, but the degree that I got was elementary and special ed. And then one of my programs was in a residential treatment facility for kids. And so seeing the things that those kids were going through just like tugged at my heartstrings, and I fell in love with it, and I have just found my passion in special ed. So I'm so glad that I am, and I think I could do regular education and general classes, but I just love the relationship and the progress and it's a different kind of success for those kids. And I think that's really special too. So.
You know, that you mentioned that I got goosebumps when you were talking about that because not everyone can do that. And so it definitely takes a special gift. So that when you mentioned, when I was reading, you said every child has a gift, and it should be our goal to make those gifts, come out of each child. And how do we go about that? How do you go about that as a teacher? um, what is the process? Because with special ed definitely is more patience and a lot more things go into it. So can you explain how that works?
Yeah, I think it is a greater challenge sometimes to find those little tidbits. And I think that's the thing you have to remember, is that sometimes it is a tiny glimpse of something that you can see in a kid. And that's really what you have to hold on to. And when they're throwing stuff at you or biting you or kicking you, whatever it may be, or just refusing to do things, you just have to really remember, like, okay, but they did this last week, and them walking down the hallway nicely or even saying hi to someone, that was huge. And so I think it's just finding those tiny little glimmers of, anything, and just continuing to build on that. And it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of, you have to really put yourself outside of the situation, and you can't take anything personally, and you have to just remember, like, it's never about us, right? It's always about the kids. And so really just finding those little, again, glimmers of anything that you can grasp onto and just keep digging, and it eventually comes out of them and they feel proud, and that's the most exciting part of it. So
Oh my God. What age group are you working with right now?
right now I'm in K through 12. So as a behavior specialist, I'm K through 12 in several different districts, but my primary teaching was in, I'm just going to say K through 6, because I did do a lot of different things. Yeah.
Okay. So do you go from a different every day or every week? Do you rotate, or what's your
Yeah.
schedule like?
Every day I'm in a different district right now. Sometimes I try to run to 2 a day if I can.
Oh my gosh.
And so I really do miss the classroom and that one-on-one time of having my own classroom.
Right.
Right now I see a lot of different kids in a lot of places, which is really fun too. And I get to work with their teams to really find ways to find those glimmers and those little things. So yeah, I like that role too. It's fun.
That is so, so rewarding. How do you, when you come home, how do you decompress? How do you not bring all that home? Because I would want to adopt all my kids.
And that's been a struggle for me. And I remember in undergrad even, I got so frustrated with some of my professors because I was like, how am I not supposed to adopt all these kids and have I can't let go of some of this stuff? And she was like, you have to. And I was like, okay. So that's taken a lot of self-reflection too, and processing. And I'm pretty good now. I've got a good like self-care routine, and I think that's really important. Like I exercise in the morning and I try to eat well throughout the day. And I run sometimes after school. I have a puppy that helps.
Oh, yeah, I
um,
have one too. You probably can hear him a little bit.
yeah, I had to kick mine out because he was
Oh, you
stuff.
I know.
Um, but yeah, and just family, and I journal and I try to just get it out in other ways because yeah, I do hold on to so much of it because you just get so close with your students when you're in such a setting like that, and it can be challenging.
It's emotional, yes. I mean, I know I've been teaching for over 25 years, and every graduation, I come home after graduation in the car and I'm crying.
Yeah, yeah.
Every year, I'm like, no, this year, Carla, come on. Nope. Every year. So yeah, that you see them so much, you create these bonds, sometimes more than their parents do. And so yeah, I agree that teacher bond, no one can take away from us. They're I wanted to ask you, you said you're an adjunct professor. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so that was kind of a goal I set for myself. I was like, by the time I'm 30, I really want to be a professor.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to set lofty goals. And I actually had a friend she had posted that she was being a professor at a couple different universities here in Minnesota. So I just messaged her and I was like, hey, I've applied at a few places. Haven't really heard back, and I wasn't like a dire need to do it. It was, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
And she said, would you like to co-teach this class with me? It's about differentiation, and she's not in a sped role. So she thought my insight might be helpful. And
Wow.
yeah, and so this fall I co-taught a class with her, and then this summer I get to teach my own class on social emotional learning and well-being, which is like my passion. So I'm super excited
Oh,
for that.
congrats. Oh
Thank
my God.
you. Yeah.
Wow. That is, and definitely that is a topic that it attracts a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely,
Definitely.
especially now with
Especially now,
everything.
completely 100%. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is sadly to say that there's a lot of, you know, situations right now that are
yeah,
struggling with that.
I
Um,
need.
well, congrats to that. Well, then I wanted to, before we talk about your other life, but I wanted to ask you, you were Teacher of the Year in 2006, 2018, K through 6. Tell us about that experience and that moment and finding out. So tell us.
Yeah, that was so I worked in the district that I actually went to school in. Um,
Oh,
and so that was really fun. And I would probably still be there if I hadn't met my husband, but that's okay. Um, I love where I'm at now too. But yeah, so I had been teaching for 3 years. And we had like the big award ceremony in our district, and I was like, oh, by the end of my career I want to be Teacher of the Year. Like that's so exciting.
yeah.
And then I was just doing my thing, right? Like I hadn't thought
So
ever
you
that
never thought, oh, I got to do this towards becoming, no?
yeah, I thought like 25 years in, maybe I'll get it, right? And like often sped teachers don't get that acknowledgement because we're kind of behind the scenes, and that's okay.
Yeah.
um Yeah, and one of my colleagues asked me to come in. The school is open concept, so it was like 170 kids in this big area, and the four teachers, and um she was just like, hey, we need to tell you something, and I'm like getting choked up thinking about it.
Oh,
um, and yeah, they just told me that they had nominated me as a team, and then the people voted and they had chosen me. So
my
I did
God.
start a coffee club that year for my students. And so I kind of think that was like the fuel for it a little bit. But
That extra thing, right?
yeah. So the kids ran a coffee club every Friday where they had like order cards and the teachers could order coffee and we raised money, and then they had to go through the orders and make the orders and deliver the coffee and practice their social skills and math and functional communication. And so that was kind of my big project. And I think that, you know, that kind of prompted that Teacher of the Year, but it was a huge honor. And I was kind of like, well, now what am I going to do?
You can check that off your list of goals.
Yeah, I guess, but no. And so it was just like really inspiring. And I felt just like so proud of my kids because obviously I wouldn't have been Teacher of the Year if it weren't for the great things that they were doing. So yeah, it was awesome.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. What a feeling. No.
Yeah, it was cool. And then, yeah, we had like the ceremony that we did for everything else at the end of the year. And my dad worked at the district at the time before he retired. And then my mom was there and I was like, what is going on? So yeah, it was really, really cool.
Oh, that's memorable. See, that's the things that teachers have that no one can really relate, you know, unless you're a teacher, that feeling.
Yep.
Congratulations. What a moment. And you're so young that you got to figure out other stuff now. Start your own school.
I
know. Well, now we want to talk about, do you have another life? I know, you know, being a teacher consumes us pretty much almost 24/7. I know I have a stack of things to grade this weekend, but I really do want to have my other life.
Yeah.
So what do you do as your other life?
Yeah. Well, right now we are building a house, so that's exciting. We're not doing a whole lot right now. It's winter in Minnesota, but so that's kind of taking up a lot of my thought space. I like to be with my family. They live about an hour from where I'm at now. My husband and I love to do stuff outside. We have acreage here, so we go hunting, we go hiking. We have, like I said, we have a puppy, so we take him out and do stuff. I like running, and I just like being outside as much as I can. I have chickens, so taking care of them.
We've been talking how many people have gotten chickens lately because of.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, I heard they're friendly. Are they? Yes, you can kind of.
Oh yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I made sure we got them when they were chicks, so I like held them and cuddled them and made sure. So yeah, they're really friendly, and they lay like the blue and the green eggs, so that's kind of fun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're really cool. I love those chickens.
Oh my God. Yeah, I would love to have a chicken. I got one at a birthday once. It was like when I was little, it was like a farm party, and I literally got a chick as a gift. And I asked Mom what happened to it. She's like, I don't remember. I don't know if they just kind of gave it away.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not prepared for them, it wouldn't.
Yeah. So it's like probably like, I don't know, 4 or whatever. I don't know. But well, yes, that sounds super fun. Well, I wanted to ask you, are there any words of wisdom that you want to share with those teachers out there? Because you know, we're always, you know how we love quotes and we love motivational things, and I've seen you have some amazing ones. I loved your one that key to success is adaptability. I love that. I really like that. That really, I think it's very strong. Few words, but strong. So what is your words of wisdom? You've done so much. What can you tell our teachers out there?
I was kind of racking my brain trying to think of, you know, what's my kind of go-to quote, and I'm just going to keep it a little simple and maybe a little cliche, but nothing happens in your comfort zone. The only times that good things have happened to me and, you know, I've achieved these things already is because I'm willing to just get uncomfortable and fail. I failed a lot of times too. You know, I've achieved great things in my life already, but I've also failed. And I think that's really important, is you have to be willing to fail, and you have to take the time to reflect on that and say, okay, well, that sucked, but what did I learn from that? And just move on, right? Like, it's either going to be okay or it's going to be okay, and it always works out. So,
oh my gosh. Yeah. Love. We needed that. I love that. And especially right now, you know, we want to keep filling our soul and our, you know, so this is really great.
Yeah.
Teala, it was such a pleasure to have you. You're filled with a lot of wisdom, a lot of experience, and I hope to have you on again sometime and
Yeah, that'd be great.
keeping us updated on all the things that you are doing. And
Yeah,
you have some lucky students. So,
thank you so much.
well, thank you so much for joining us. Bye bye, everyone.